Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here, and you are very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, grab a sofa, chair, whoopee cushion, I don't care. I'm a massive Smallville fan, as a lot of you already know. I was shocked about a year or so ago when I found out, like many of us found out, that Alison Mack had been arrested for sex trafficking. Now, I found a video. I wasn't going to do a video about this, but I found a 5-minute video talking about this and presenting the facts of this case. Let's watch it, and then let's talk about it.
Shocking truth behind the real life of Chloe Sullivan. Most of us were growing up at the same time as the characters on screen, feeling the same pain of high school and teenage drama, and dreaming about the same captivating adventures happening in our own lives. But Chloe Sullivan's inspiring curiosity and passion for uncovering the truth has never been further from reality than it is today. Here's the freshest breakdown of the shockingly devastating double life of Alison Mack, aka Chloe, and of how some of her co-stars reacted to the scandal. It all started in 2017 when a New York Times investigation came into the spotlight, revealing the horrifying truth about women who were involved in humiliating rituals and brandings. NXIVM, that's what they call themselves, seemed to be a self-help organization meant to empower women, when in actual fact...
A self-help group to empower women. This is a very important warning. So Alison Mack was the second in command of this NXIVM, a so-called self-help group to empower women. So already, this would hint that you can't trust these celebrities talking about female empowerment. What do they really want from you? Time's up. What is all that truly about? Is there something deeper towards these organisations? I think there is. You see, I watched Smallville and I looked up to Alison so much. One of the most naturally gifted actors you will ever meet. One of the most loveliest people on the surface you will ever meet. But the shocking truth is we really don't know celebrities and people on the television and on our film screen. And just because we admire what they do, it doesn't mean they're our friends, it doesn't mean they're good people, and it doesn't mean we can trust them. To the younger members of my audience, who may be easier led, be very careful out there.
It is an Albany-based sex cult with connections all over the world. Its founder, Keith Raniere, was arrested and charged with sex trafficking, while the two Smallville actresses, Alison Mack and Kristen Crook, aka the superhero's girlfriend Lana Lang, were linked to the sorority too. Raniere was previously involved in an ill-fated network marketing company that turned out to be a major pyramid scheme. Unfortunately, members of the NXIVM did not pay attention to it, and nor did they question the act of signing a confidentiality agreement before taking part in the organization.
If you question Keith Raniere, hits the fan.
The members shared a lot of personal information during group sessions that organization would later use to blackmail them in order to make them stay. It's hard to imagine that a sisterhood meant to empower women and help them thrive used their shyness and social struggles to manipulate them. And the women that we looked up...
Is it hard to believe, though? It's what I've always said. This whole thing is an absolute fraud from Hollywood, right? There is nothing wrong with women wanting to empower themselves. There's nothing wrong with women wanting as much money as men and to get the same opportunities as men. But there's something deeply troubling the way Hollywood are using that against women. This was supposed to be a self-help group, remember, but really it wanted to help itself to women, to torture women, to hurt women. And Alison Mack was second in command of this cult. It's deeply troubling to me because I still rewatch Smallville and I can still enjoy her performances. But it's difficult because she took part in an alleged fraud. Self-help, female empowerment. When you see organisations out there, when you see Hollywood actors talking about this, be very suspicious of them.
do for their strength were in fact ruining other people's lives. Kristen admitted that she was the one who introduced Mack to Nexium, but she denies any involvement in the humiliating practices. Now, 2 years later, after Mack has finally pled guilty, Kristen has to defend herself on social media, saying, "The accusations that I was in the inner circle or recruited women as sex slaves are blatantly false." As she alleged that she was shy and that she joined the sorority to battle her struggles, which was the same thing she wanted for Alison. Turns out, Alison had other plans. Mack not only became a close friend to Rainier, but was his recruiter, hunting down women for Hollywood to suck into the cult.
So Kristen Crook, who played Lana Lang in Smallville, who I absolutely adore and have always adored, actually introduced Alison to this self-help organisation. So Kristen's stance, and we've got to accept it because we don't know anything else, is that she knew nothing about what was going on, and she just brought Alison in because she thought it was a good self-help group. What was going on beneath the surface is something else. But again, you know, obviously the FBI have no evidence against Kristen, so it's clear we must accept the fact that she is innocent of any rumours or anything like that. But what Alison Mack did, how did she become second in command? She knew what was going on. She brought women. She brought women into this self-help group, right? Knowing what was going to happen to them. I love you, Alison Mack, for Chloe. But what you did is unforgivable.
Mack even tried to reach famous Hollywood rights activists like Emma Watson and singer Kelly Clarkson, but they did not respond. Of course, having A-listed stars would help her convince more people to join the self-help group. Alison became a so-called master, working alongside Rainier to brainwash members, and calling women in her group slaves and convincing them that it's only a metaphor. One of the members of the cult has shared that she and 4 other women were branded.
It was worse than childbirth. So imagine a hot laser dragged across your flesh for 30 minutes without anesthetic.
They were told it was a Latin symbol, but she later realized it was the initials of Rainier and Alison Mack. When the devastating truth came out, Mack was initially charged with sex trafficking and forced labor, which could have led to life in prison. But Mack pleaded not guilty. She was released from jail on $5 million bail. Alison and her parents had to put up their houses to secure the bond, and then she was put under house arrest with a tracker. Moreover, her co-stars could not believe the shocking truth. Michael Rosenbaum, aka Lex Luthor, was a friend of Mack, and he did not want to accept what has happened. After the first court hearing a year ago, he said, "It's like someone telling you that your brother murdered someone. You're like, no he didn't. I know my brother. He wouldn't kill anybody. It's just so bizarre." As Michael recalls, Mack had a boyfriend and acted absolutely normal. "I thought she would be married with kids. She was smart, and her family was into music and opera and stuff, upper class." Unsurprisingly, Kristen Crook's publicist refused to comment on the situation. Alison's fellow co-stars remained silent as well, not being able to find words to describe their shock. While weeping in court on the 8th of March, Alison admitted to her crimes and apologized to the women who were exploited. "I must take full responsibility for my conduct. I am very sorry for my role in this case. I am very sorry to my family and to the good people I hurt through my misguided adherence to Keith Rainier's teachings." She's believed to be second in command at Nexium and is facing up to 40 years in prison.
It's interesting, isn't it, though? She first pleaded not guilty. Obviously, her lawyer, her brief, right, has actually convinced her to plead guilty. Why? Because it's a lesser term. That's why. So now she could get the potential of 40 years. Will she get the 40 years? I don't know. It's a very interesting case, even if you're not a Smallville fan. It's an interesting case because, of course, she's famous and it's a point of interest. But what's the point of interest to me is what I keep on saying in this video, is that this self-help group masqueraded as someone that wanted to inspire women. We hear it all the time. We hear actresses, directors, they say it all the time. Can you trust them when they say it? I don't think so.
Prison. She is now waiting for her sentencing that is set for September 11th. The spring of 2019 is full of unexpected criminal investigations exposing...
So that's the whole video, right? So basically, as I said, I wasn't going to do a video about this, but I think this is a very pivotal time we live in. And Hollywood are very vocal politically about females and their roles in society these days. But do they mean it? Do Hollywood creatives and actors really want to help women? Or is there a darker, deeper reason why they're doing all this and talking about all this? The entertainment industry is a business. It's a manipulation. You can't trust them. You can't trust a celebrity because you don't know them. In fact, you can't even trust me just because you know me. Hey, I could be a supervillain for all you know, trying to suck you all into my bedroom through this screen. I'm not, but who knows? But the point is, there is an agenda these days. I want everyone to have the same crack as everybody else. Equal rights is really important. Women have never had that for many, many years. It's ridiculous, but that's the way it is. But now it's fashionable to talk about, gender, females. Instead of looking at people individually, we're looking at people as people of colour, females, males, and judging them in their groups, which is very wrong. But this case should be a lesson to you all.